My wife makes it a point to remind me that she's my wife and not my mom. I have no idea where this is coming from since I do chores too, and now, I'm so tired of it all, I'll be making a point out of the door. So my wife, 32, and I, 34, have been together for 18 years, but we have been arguing recently about the responsibilities within our marriage, and we can't seem to agree. I work full-time, and my wife is a stay-at-home mother. We have 2 children. One is in school full-time, and the other goes to preschool 2 half days a week. Recently, my wife has been sending me the stupid TikToks that always say, your wife is your partner, not your mom, and essentially boil down to men should help out around the house, help with the kids, and pick up after themselves. A sentiment I generally agree with. This usually comes with the side of you don't value what I do to look after the kids and plan everything, etc. To be clear, I am not against helping out around the house, getting the kids to bed, brushing their teeth, or cooking meals. I do help with this stuff every day. I feel like all I do is work, because the second I finish work, I have kids to help with because she has had them all day. My position is that she is right when she says kids are working. And I can appreciate that after a day of being with them all day, she is probably tired of the kids. But I have also been at work all day too, and it isn't fair to expect me to be the sole parent as soon as I'm finished. Then there is the issue of housework. Our house is always a mess, which frustrates me when she complains about having to do all the unpaid labor of managing a household and looking after the kids. From my perspective, I go to work in a messy house, and I finish work in the same messy house. I work from home. I go into my office for 8 hours and only come out for the occasional coffee and snack, which means that 90% of my mess is contained in a room only I go into. Most days, while I'm at work, she isn't even home. I feel that I'm holding up my end of the bargain by working full-time and then helping with housework and the kids outside of that. But she isn't holding up her end of it by looking after the house and kids while I'm at work. I could understand that she wouldn't get as much done around the house on days when our youngest is home, but on days where she is at preschool, she takes it as an opportunity to have a break and go shopping with her mom or go visit a friend. Whenever I bring this up or question how much effort she is putting in, I get the you don't appreciate me and I'm not your mother statements. I'm not saying she should be waiting on me hand and foot as my personal maid, cook, and bed partner, but I am literally killing myself trying to do everything, yet I'm still being told I'm the problem for treating her like my mother just because I'm expecting her to do her part. What can I do to help her see my side? Update 1. So, a lot of people are saying we need to sit down and try to look at things as a team, and I am totally on board with this approach and will let you know how it goes. Also, a few people dislike my framing of helping, as it's my responsibility as well. I agree. I use the term helping, as that's the word she uses when saying I need to do more to help around the house. A lot of you either can't read or are refusing to believe that I actually parent my own children. I wake them up in the morning. I make them breakfast every day. I get them dressed every day too. I take them to school 2 to 3 days a week. I know their teachers. I know all their friends and their parents' names. I know their doctors, and I know their allergies. I bathe them, I get their PJs on, and I read them the same bedtime story every night for weeks. I draw with them, I play games with them, and I know their favorite Disney princesses and superheroes. As for the household, I do the laundry, load the dishwasher, cook my own lunches, and tidy up after myself. I iron, I fold and put away laundry, I pick up their toys, and I clean their playroom. I hoover at the weekend and take them to kid parties. I also do all the chores that my wife won't because I'm the man, like taking out the bins, cleaning the car, mowing the grass, and fixing anything that breaks. Update 2. So, I arranged for the in-laws to have the kids Friday night. Me and the wife sat down and had a talk. It was a long talk, probably one of the deepest and hardest talks we have ever had in our 18 years. I told her that I felt overwhelmed and underappreciated. I felt I was doing more than my fair share and that she wasn't. I told her that I could understand that while I may be doing plenty around the house and parenting, I was guilty of letting her take the majority of the mental load, but that still didn't excuse her behavior. I felt I was firm, but fair. And to her credit, instead of fighting back, she listened. We discussed her feelings, and she admits to not prioritizing housework and trying to make the most of her free time. We agreed that we would sit down and come up with a schedule for cleaning that we were both accountable for. She told me some issues that I wasn't aware of that her mother had been dealing with since retiring and the passing of her father's grandfather. Loneliness and depression, issues relating to my sister-in-law, who is a mess and has a constant headache, which is why she has been going to see her so much. Other feelings she had been having were feeling lost in kids, not having anything for herself, and some depression related to weight gain since having our second child. She has put on 40 to 50 pounds and no longer feels attractive. I told her that I still think she's beautiful, but she doesn't, hence our dead bedroom. There were hurt feelings and tears from both of us, so we are taking steps to help. We have both agreed to switch out mornings and evenings. I get the kids up, make their breakfast, brush their teeth, get them dressed, and take them to school. She does dinner, baths, bed, etc. the next day. We switched. This gives us both some mornings and evenings free to do whatever we want. We are both joining the gym, and I too have put on some weight and lost muscle since our second child. Hopefully, this helps with her body confidence. We are also arranging with the in-laws to have babysitters once a week for us to start going on regular dates again. We have found a cleaning schedule where you do certain chores throughout the house every day but pick one room to deep clean every day, with me doing laundry, dishwasher, and other things that take less time. She does the deep cleaning and general tidying. Most importantly, she is looking to get a job part-time so she can start helping financially, give her some income that isn't for me, and give her something to focus on outside of being a mom. As all my wages went into the joint account, I felt like I never had any money as I didn't want to spend, and there was not enough to pay the mortgage, etc. So I never spent money and resented what she did. So, when she gets a job, both incomes are going into the joint account, and then we are getting a budget together. Making sure there is enough to cover direct debits, then dividing the remaining into accounts for savings and personal accounts for each of us to have our own money that we can spend however we want guilt-free. I'm going to pick up a hobby that gets me out of the house and commute to the office once a week. One thing we discussed was that I was always at home. I didn't do anything other than work and be at home, so we didn't have a lot to talk about because I didn't go anywhere. It also meant that she never got any alone time at home away from me and the kids, and she felt like a nuisance being at home while I was at work. We took this weekend to spend some time together as a family, took the kids to the park, went to a nature reserve for a picnic, and went on bike rides. The kids went rock climbing, followed by ice cream. It was really nice, and we both feel like a weight has been lifted. It's obviously not going to change overnight, and we need to work at it. But we have a plan, and both seem to want to put in the effort.